Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hadn't done like a Q&A or like a catch up in a while, and a lot has happened in the last couple months. And by a lot, I mean this. I am currently 22 weeks pregnant with twin boys. This is my belly from the front. It's so crazy. Like, it's so insane to me that I'm pregnant. But I am. I'm pregnant with twins. 2 twin boys. So much has happened in the last couple months. It's crazy. Now that I've shown you a little update, we can do a little chit chat. I'm gonna get ready with you guys and kind of tell you how it happened, how we found out we were pregnant, how the pregnancy is going, all that good stuff. Cats are playing and they're just not gonna stop. And you know what? I kind of have to get used to this because soon, guys, when I do videos, there'll probably be babies crying in the background. So we're gonna have to just get used to it, I guess. In the beginning of my pregnancy, I never wanted to put on makeup. Like, I looked like a bum the first trimester because I just wasn't feeling it, you guys. Like, I wasn't feeling putting on makeup. I didn't care. I was a couch potato. I could barely get up from the couch. It was just first trimester vibes. I'm sure if you've ever been pregnant, you know what I mean. But I'm using the Hourglass. This is like their Arch Brow Volumizing Fiber Gel. Let's talk about how I found out I was pregnant and all the questions you must have for me. A lot of you might be coming from Instagram and already know, but if you're here only from YouTube and you don't know, I'm gonna tell you everything. So basically, one, we were not trying to get pregnant at all. It was an oopsie that happened. It was September 20th. I will never forget the day. Well, actually September 19th. It was a Sunday. Christian went to a football game and I stayed home. And I was just chilling and relaxing, and I made myself an iced coffee. Now, if you guys know, you guys have seen my videos here, I love my iced coffee. I love to drink my iced coffee. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I love my iced coffee. And for some reason that day, my iced coffee tasted like soap. I don't know why. It was so weird to me, and I was like, that's really weird. And then later that day, since I was home, I was like, I'm gonna make myself some fried rice. I have all the ingredients here. I'm very into like veggie fried rice. I love veggie fried rice. So I was like, I'm gonna make myself some veggie fried rice. I just filled my brow in with this brow pencil from Benefit. I love it so much. So yeah, I made myself some veggie fried rice. Literally, it had no meat, no fish, nothing. For some reason, that fried rice to me tasted, I'm not even kidding you, like fish. I was like, why does it taste like fish? That's so weird. My coffee tasted like soap. My fried rice tasted like shrimp or like fish. And I was like, this is weird. So I knew an oopsie happened, but like I wasn't really too worried about it because like we've done like we've had months of like certain oopsies and nothing like has happened. So I was like, it's fine. Everything's fine. But because I knew, I was like, okay, my taste is never like this. It's weird. You know what? That's fine. Tomorrow when we do our normal Monday groceries, I'll get a pregnancy test. I doubt I'm pregnant. This was me talking to myself on Sunday, right? So then Monday comes around. The next day we go do our usual Monday groceries shopping. And we pass by the aisle where the pregnancy tests are. I was like, you know what? Let me just get one because I know that we made an oopsie this month. Even though I don't really need one, I'm most likely gonna get my period on Saturday. My period was due that Saturday. This was Monday. So you're talking about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 5 days onto my period. But I was like, I could just not buy a test and just wait for my period. But I was like, I'm already here. Might as well get one. I'm gonna be in Orlando because it was Christian's birthday weekend. So we were gonna go to Halloween Horror Nights. And I was like, I'm not going to be buying tests over there. If God forbid I do miss my period. So I'm like, forget it. I'll just buy a test now. But I'm sure nothing will come up on the test because I haven't even missed my period. So I bought this test right here. It's the 6 days sooner from First Response. We get home, we unload the groceries, you know, I put everything away, yada yada. I go to the bathroom when I have to pee and I go, oh, let me take the test, let me pee. So I'm whatever, doing the test, you pee on the stick. So as I'm grabbing the test back from peeing on it and I'm putting the cap on it, like to close it up so I can leave it on the counter for 3 minutes, you already see like the TMI, but you see the urine going through the line, and already where there's the line for pregnant, it was already showing up. Like clear as day, super strong. It hadn't even, the urine hadn't even gone to the second line, like for the control line to show up. And I was like, at that point, I was like, I remember sitting in the toilet and yelling, I'm not even kidding you guys, it's not like super cute or anything. I was sitting in the toilet and I yelled, Christian, I'm pregnant. I hadn't even wiped, I hadn't put my pants on, nothing. And Christian goes, what? I was like, I'm pregnant. And he walks into the bathroom and he's expecting to see like a little faint line or like, oh my God, she probably thinks she's pregnant, but she's not, whatever. Christian looks at the test and he was like, what? And I go, it literally hasn't even been 60 seconds. Like I still have to wait 3 minutes. I'm gonna show you a picture right here of the test. It was the strongest test of my life. First, I thought this is a fake test. There's no way. This is a faulty test, whatever. No. We waited 30 minutes and we took another test because the box came with 2 and it was, again, I'll show you right here, positive. So before I took the second test and we were waiting 30 minutes, like for me to get like to pee again, like needing like to pee again, I was like, you know, what if this means twins? Because why would, like my period isn't even due for like another 5 days. Like, does that mean like maybe it's really strong because there's 2? And I Googled it and Google convinced me that no, it's not twins, it has nothing to do with it. So I go, okay, whatever. So I put twins out of my mind and we just waited 30 minutes, took the second test, we saw it was positive. At this point, we're like, okay, we're pregnant. From what the looks of this test are, we're pregnant. Christian got like super excited and he was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Obviously, like we were freaking out because we weren't planning it. And Christian goes to CVS, Walgreens, and he picks up some more tests from different brands because he was like I need to see like if this is legit. Like we need to try out some other brands, right? So Christian goes that day. I'm using, by the way, the Skin Feels Good Hydrating Skin Tint from Lancome. It's really good. I'm in the shade Pecan, 15N Pecan. This is what it looks like. It's really good. So yeah, so at this point, Christian was like, okay, we gotta go get more tests, like from different brands, just to confirm. Because we were like in shock. We were in denial, basically. We were like, there's no way. So Christian goes out, gets more tests. I take more tests. Really, I have a drawer just filled with positive pregnancy tests. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, holy shit, okay, so I'm pregnant. So I gotta call my OB. Like, that's the first thing you do, right? You gotta call the person that like is your OB or your gyno. My gyno was both gyno and OB. And then they were like, no, we actually don't do OB anymore, just gyno. So it's like, shit, so now I have to find somewhere else to go. It was like a mission. And they told me anyways, you have to wait till 8 weeks to come in. At this point, I was like 3.5 weeks. I haven't even been like a full 4 weeks yet. So we had to obviously wait for our first appointment for it to be by the 8 weeks. So Monday, we basically just had to sit on that news. Like we literally sat in the couch all day and we just stared at each other. We were like, what the hell is going on? Like, oh my God. And then the next day, obviously when I woke up, Christian wanted me to take more tests just to confirm, and like, cause he was just like in shock. He was really excited. And I have a whole video of everyone's reactions, my reaction, Christian's reaction. So the first pregnancy test I took, I didn't film it. It was the one where I was on the toilet peeing. But I go, if this is really positive and this isn't a fake test, like this isn't a faulty test, I'm gonna record the second test we took. So we took the first test, we freaked out, we were like, what the hell? We're like, okay, let's give it another 30 minutes and I'll pee again on the second test since the box comes with 2. But I'm gonna record the second one because if this is positive, like that's it, like I'm pregnant. There's no way, if there's 2 positive tests, I have to be pregnant. And if the line is super like there, it has to be pregnant. So that one was the one that I recorded and I got the reaction when we were kind of like, okay, shit, I am pregnant. And I have everything on video and I'll post the video. I'll post the link to the video down below of basically like our reactions, my mom's reaction, my mother-in-law, my everyone, like everyone. So that Monday, we basically just sat on this big piece of information and we were like freaking out, like excited, freaking out. Kind of like, it's just a shock that like comes to you because you're kind of like, whoa, what's going on? Like your whole life changes. The second that test is positive, like your whole life just changed. Like in literally just a pee, like just a bathroom break, which is crazy. And I'm using the Kosas concealer. This is in the shade 1.5C. It's really, really good. So yeah. So then I'm like dying. I'm like, I have to tell someone. Like I need to tell my sister or someone because I'm freaking out. So I FaceTime my sister on Tuesday, which is also in the video reaction. You'll see all of that. Since we found out we were pregnant, we're like, I want to get everyone's reaction, like from now till like this whole pregnancy, because I want to like be able to look back and see it. So Christian was able to film like everyone's reaction for me, and it was great. Like great thing that we did that. So my sister was working and she goes, what? Like I'm super busy. Like she was kind of annoyed. She was like I need to like work, what happened? And then I just show her the test and she automatically freaks out. She's like, what? She starts crying like crazy. She's super emotional, super happy, of course. And I told my sister first. So then I always promised my sister I would tell her first. And my sister doesn't live here. At the time she was living in Tallahassee. So the only way I could show her was through FaceTime. And she goes, you have to go tell mom like right now, which of course I was dying to tell my mom. If anyone knows my mom's been dying for us to have babies. Me and my sister got married in 2019. I got married in 2020, in February of 2020. And my mom has just like been dying for us to just have kids and this. And I'm like, mom, like I'm not in a rush. I had a whole trip this year, 2021 in May, booked for Italy. Like we were ready. Obviously we can't do that because the babies are literally coming in May. But yeah, I basically told my mom like, you need to chill because it's not happening. So my mom did not think that I was gonna get pregnant anytime soon because I told her no. My sister was like shocked too because she knew I didn't want like to get pregnant yet, like right now. So yeah, so it was a shock. So my sister automatically says, you have to go to mom's house today and tell her. I was like, I already told her I was gonna go tomorrow. She goes, no, please, my anxiety's through the roof. You need to go today and tell her. So I told my parents, okay, I have to go to your house today because I have to do something for Hispanic Heritage Month and take a picture with the family, yada, yada. Of course, my parents believed it on the spot and they were like, okay, perfect. We'll like get ready. Let us know when you're on the way. Do we have to wear something specific? I was like, no, you're fine. And then Christian, obviously, in the video, you'll see like the way we tell them and everything, and they freak out, obviously, because my mom was really not like, she's like, you're like, my mom's like, I can always tell when you're lying or playing a joke on me because like, she's my mom. She's good at detecting when we're lying or whatnot, right? Especially when we were teenagers. I'm setting with the Charlotte Tilbury powder in 1. It's the fair shade. So my mom was like completely blindsided because again, she wasn't expecting me to get pregnant because I said I didn't want to get pregnant right now, yada, yada, yada. So she was super shocked. Christian's mom was super shocked because everyone knew like we didn't want to get pregnant right now. So yeah, sorry, my camera died. Thank God I had an extra battery. So yeah, I'm just gonna live in the moment right now, enjoy my life. I'm gonna travel, I'm gonna go to Italy, I'm gonna do what I wanna do. And you know, when the time comes that we wanna have kids, we'll have kids, you know, hopefully in end of 2022 or 2023. That was our goal. And these babies said, nope, we wanna be here. And they came in and they stuck, literally. And it was the biggest surprise of our life. Honestly, it was the biggest shock. We were not expecting it, but the second that test turned positive and we saw those positive tests, like our whole life changed. Something felt a little off to me and they ended up telling me just come in at 7 weeks, you know, just so we can make sure everything's fine and ease your mind. So I went to the doctor the week before, but she goes, because this isn't your 8-week appointment, this is kind of considered like an emergency visit just so you can come in quick and see them, see the baby. Your husband has to stay outside. So Christian waited in the car, but I was like, can I FaceTime him? Like, oh yeah, for sure you can FaceTime him because of COVID and everything going on. They only let them go in at the 8-week appointment and for the 36-week appointment, which is crazy. So I was freaking out. I had never done a vaginal ultrasound. I've never done an ultrasound in general. So I was freaking out. And let me continue doing my makeup. And I was freaking out. I was scared. I remember shaking so much. I didn't know what I was going to see on that ultrasound. I was scared. I wanted to make sure that the baby was fine. I wanted to make sure that they were going to tell me everything looks great. Like, I was just so nervous because all you want is like good news, right? So I basically went into the ultrasound and I went by myself. Obviously, I was like, my mom's like, keep me updated, like text me. Like, she was in a group chat with me and Christian, and she was like super worried, obviously. And Christian was worried, and I was like, can I FaceTime my husband? They said, yeah, we can FaceTime your husband. So when the lady comes in, you know, it was vaginal, so they go obviously vaginally, and she goes in and she puts the probe, right? And again, this is all in the video that with the first reaction that I showed you guys that I put on Instagram with like basically everything. I included that ultrasound in there so you guys can see it. I screen recorded me and Christian's FaceTime, just like, because for some reason I said, let me screen record, you know, the ultrasound so I have it. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't videotape the ultrasound because I had to be FaceTiming Christian. So I said, let me screen record Christian because on the top you could see the ultrasound, right? And I FaceTime Christian, I'm screen recording, and the lady puts the probe in, and she literally puts it in, and the second she puts it in, I see 2 sacs immediately. And I'm a girl, I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, I'm things, I know what ultrasounds look like, and like when there's baby in there and things like that, and when people post like their baby pics, like their baby ultrasound pics, and I see 2, so I'm like, either something's wrong or I have 2 in there. The lady, like literally 30 seconds went by and she wasn't saying anything. She was just moving the probe in there, and I keep seeing these 2 black dots. And I'm like, I look over at her and I go, is that twins? No, I go, is that 2? I go, is that 2? And she goes, yes, congratulations, you're having twins. And I start bawling. And I remember Christian was like, he was... The second that I showed, when the probe went in, then Christian just saw like my uterus. He had no idea what he was seeing. He thought he was looking at a baby, and like he just thought those black dots were the baby. So he was already crying just from like me being there and emotional. It was like, right? And the second that she says it's 2, Christian stops crying, and he literally, his reaction was the best. He literally, when I said, is that 2? His mouth drops, his jaw drops, and the lady says, yes, that's 2, you're having twins, congratulations. And she was like the best ultrasound tech ever. She was like, her energy, everything was amazing. And I just remember I started crying and crying. And when I tell you, I don't want to cry right now. I literally, like, all the thoughts in my mind were so happy. Like, I was so happy. Like, I wasn't scared. I wasn't nervous. I just heard their heartbeats. When I heard their heartbeats, and I heard that everything was fine and they were good, and I didn't care if there was 5 in there at this point. I was so happy that I saw them and I saw their little hearts and that they were doing well. And I was not, like, the fear that I had in the beginning when I just thought it was 1 and I was so scared of pregnancy, when you see them in your first ultrasound and you see your babies in there, it's like a whole nother, like, nothing else in this world matters. Nothing matters. Not like, can I do this? Am I right? No, all that just goes straight out of your mind, and all you care about is that those little babies or baby, whatever you're having on that ultrasound, and you just look at them and you get to hear their heartbeats, and they're like the tiniest little thing, but they have heartbeats. It was insane to me. It was insane. And I remember going to speak to the doctor afterwards, and I remember just sitting there. I thought something was completely wrong, but it was because I had 2 babies, 2 healthy, happy babies in there. So I was already in shock. You know, I was waiting for bad news, or I don't know. And I'm in this guy's office. I'm talking to this doctor, and he's smiling from ear to ear, and he's telling me like, oh, you're having twins. You have di twins. They're fraternal because they're both in their sacs. So you have like the lowest risk of pregnancy, because there's 3 types of twin pregnancies, and I had the lowest risk one because when they're in their own sacs and they each have their own placenta, it's like less of a risk. It becomes more of a risk when they start sharing. So when they have 1 sac and there's 2 babies in there and they're sharing a placenta, or they have 2 sacs but they're sharing 1 placenta, the risk gets higher, but like mine were more low risk because they each have like their own little house with their own little energy source, is what he told me. And I just remember sitting there just like shocked, looking at him. Christian had just bawled on the phone, crying, bawled when we both found out we were crying like crazy. My contact fell out of my eye. I had no idea where my contact went. And I just remember sitting there listening to this guy. And he goes, do you have any questions? I had no questions for him because I was in such shock and in a state of happiness. And I was like, I had it in the back of my head, something with twins. I don't know why. And I kept seeing twins everywhere. And I kept seeing this girl on TikTok that has twins. And it's for some reason it kept popping up. But I was like, nothing. So then when I see it, I was like, oh my God, it was like all of this was like signs, and it was just crazy to me. So I was sitting there with this guy and in shock, and I had no questions for him. I was just listening to all the information he was giving me, and it was honestly like, I just kept replaying that moment that she told me it was twins, and it was twins, and I didn't even care what the doctor was saying. And he was just talking to me about diets and prenatals I should be taking. Mind you, already, the second I found out I was pregnant, Christian already ordered me prenatals, and I had already been taking them since like 3 weeks. And at this point I was already 7 weeks. So, and then we were following specific diets and things like that. And like what's really good for the babies to eat. And you should be eating more of this and less of this and blah, blah, blah. So basically what he was telling me was things kind of like I already knew. So I was just kind of like processing like my emotions. I was so happy. And then I was like dying to just go to the car, like just see Christian and show him the pictures of our babies and like show him and explain to him everything about the Di twins and fraternal, their sacs, and I just wanted to tell him everything. And at that moment, we literally hauled, like, you guys, we hauled ass to my mom's house so I could tell my mom. And the reaction was obviously there in the video, but she called me in the OB. She goes, I haven't heard from Christian, like, is everything okay? Like, is the baby fine? And I was like, yes, everything's fine. Don't worry. I was talking to the doctor. I'm so sorry. I'll go to your house now to show you the ultrasound pics. Everything's okay. So my mom was like, oh my God, okay, thank God. She started crying. She was super happy. And I didn't want to tell her over the phone it was twins. I wanted to go to her house, you know, like to tell her. And I was so excited. I was like, it's already a shock, just telling someone you're pregnant, but then telling them, oh, it's twins. It was like, okay, we have to record this reaction. So we got to the house and we recorded it, obviously. Like I didn't even tell my mom it was twins. I just showed her, like I walked to her house. She was super excited because she was dying to see the picture of the baby. And I hold up the little picture and you see the 2 sacs, like you see it perfectly. And as a woman, and my mom has 3 kids, you know, like she knows what an ultrasound looks like. She knows that there's 2. And she was like, no. Like she instantly looked at me, she goes, no. And I was like, I'm having twins. Oh, she was super excited. She was super shocked. My dad was super shocked. My brother was super shocked. We basically just were kind of like, okay, we're doing it. We're having twins. We're having 2 boys. Well, we didn't know it was boys yet, but we were pregnant and we were super excited. And like we were just, the doctor was like, we're just gonna have to do more ultrasounds on you, obviously, because it's twins. So we want to make sure like we're, you know, monitoring them closely and things like that. But that just means you get to watch them and see them more, which I didn't care. I was super excited. So it was like a crazy just experience. And, you know, and now like everything is just happening so fast. I feel like that was literally yesterday. And then today I'm 22 weeks. Like I'm 22 weeks pregnant. And I already know that it's boys. Since then, they've been good. We've gone to our appointments. They've been great. And we did our anatomy scan at 16 weeks. And we also did one at 21 weeks. And they look so cute, you guys. And in the ultrasound, they suck their thumbs. And they, like, touch their face. And they're constantly kicking me. Like, Christian puts his hand on my stomach. He feels them kicking already. And I feel them. And it's just, before I used to be, I started feeling flutters at 16 weeks. And now I just feel full-on kicks, and I know it's gonna keep getting harder and harder, so I'm just so excited. I love feeling them in there, and and let me tell you guys, the second trimester, it does get better, because the first trimester, I ended up losing weight, because I lost like 10 pounds, because they just weren't making me hungry. I didn't want to eat. Nothing appetized me. I think I threw up a total like 8 times. I wasn't a person that I threw up like my mom. Like when she was pregnant, she said she threw up like every single day, 3-4 times a day. The whole first trimester. I was like, no. The whole 3 months, maybe like a total of 8 times, which is not a lot. thankfully. But I would just wake up kind of like just like gagging. I had a lot of like the gag reflex that you would gag in the mornings, but that was pretty much it. But they wouldn't give me an appetite. I was also very fatigued. I would take the best naps of my life because, you know, those first trimester naps hit so different, like pregnancy naps. Because in the beginning, you're just so tired. Your body is working like overtime, especially with 2. You know, your body's working double, which is crazy. So I was so tired all the time, like literally so tired. And by 11 weeks, TMI, but by 11 weeks, my boobs had started leaking milk, like colostrum, which was crazy. They're still leaking. They leak every single day. And doctor said it's very normal. And obviously because I have 2, like my hormones are super like high and like surging, obviously. So it's totally normal to have leaked so early on. But yeah, and also my doctor told me, because I told him, I looked up in the beginning, like before my appointment, like literally the second I took the test, I looked up, like, does this mean twins? Because the test was so strong and I hadn't even missed my period. My period wasn't due till Saturday. I tested on Monday. But I told him Google convinced me that it wasn't. And he goes, no, it's 100% true. If you have 2 in there, you have double the amount of HCG, which is like the levels that detect if you're pregnant or not. And it could definitely be very strong early on if you're having twins. You can find out way sooner than other people do when they have 1. It's like, no way. So I was right. Like my intuition was right this whole time. It was crazy. And yeah, ever since then, I think I have like a list on my phone. And I've been tracking every single week, kind of like my symptoms every week, like what I felt, like things like that. I did have really, really bad acne. I'll show you guys a picture compared to what I look like today. Like, I had really bad acne in the beginning. They have broken me out so much. Again, a lot of hormones going through my body. So I figured that was normal. Loss of appetite was probably the thing I struggled with the most, just because I couldn't eat. Like, I didn't like anything. Nothing appetized me. I never knew what I wanted to eat. And obviously made me lose weight. And even in the second trimester, I was still like that. And now towards the end, like literally like 4 days ago is when I started getting my appetite back, and I've been starving and I've been eating a lot more, which is good. And every time I tell people I'm about to be 6 months next week, they're like, because we just went to a wedding, they were like, oh my God, you're so small for 6 months and you're carrying 2. And I was like, yeah, but I guess maybe like they're just growing in my back. I don't know. They're in there and they're big, because every time I go to my appointments, they're always measuring a week over. Luckily, because they're twins, my doctor doesn't want me to go past 38 weeks. So I get to deliver them a little bit earlier. Most likely C-section, just because sometimes it has to be a miracle that both their heads are down and I'm dilated and they both come out, because sometimes only one's ready and then you have to do natural for one and then you have to rush to emergency C-section with the other one. And I don't want to be stressed like that. I'd rather just take them out like safely in a C-section. I don't want to be like, take one out natural and then have to rush into an emergency C-section because the other one's like suffering or something. I don't know. So I told my doctors, whatever is going to take my babies out safely, we do that. Like, you just tell me what I got to do. I just show up to the hospital is what I told her. I'm not picky with like my birth plan or anything like that. I'm ready for anything, honestly, because you just don't know. And I'm so excited to meet them. So my due date was June 2nd, but because obviously they have to come a little bit sooner, they're probably going to come like May 16th, that week of May 16th, around there. So I'm so excited. They're going to be Taurus babies. I love Taurus, so I'm very excited. And I literally just can't wait to meet them, you guys. Like, I dream about them every night. I dream about what they look like. I dream about holding them, whether it's natural birth or C-section or just like when the doctor gives the babies to me. Like, I'm just, I'm like over the moon. I'm like so in love. And it's just crazy because like, you're like, how are you so in love with someone you've never met? Like, you know, and I've never met them like actually in person, but they're in my body and they're kicking me and they're moving and they're just like my body is like hosting them in there, you know what I mean? And it just feels like the most amazing feeling ever. And I know this is a long video and I'm rambling on, but there's like so much information, especially when there's 2, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I want to tell you all about my pregnancy, like first trimester. Well, I basically already told you first trimester, I was literally a couch potato. Lots of nausea, fatigue, gagging reflex. Second trimester was, you feel more like you. I wasn't as tired as much. I wasn't fatigued as much. I just had some acid reflux and no appetite, but slowly my appetite's coming back. So I'm very excited about that. And I can't wait to see what the third trimester brings, because that's it. Once I'm in the third trimester, babies are coming soon. So I'm so excited. Like, I literally cannot wait, you guys, to meet them, to hold them. Like, Christian talks to them every day. It's the cutest thing. And I love talking to them. I love feeling my belly, and I just love being pregnant. I definitely do. Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so excited. And let me know what other videos you guys want, especially like baby videos. If you guys want another pregnancy video, maybe a video with Christian, or a nursery tour like before they're born, or whatever the case might be. Or kind of like my favorite baby products I've been using during this pregnancy, things like that. Just let me know and I will record it. So just let me know in the comments down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys so much. The babies say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my mama's page. But yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.